Hi everyone, and welcome to Revit Models that Deliver with the AEC collection. Today's agenda will be seeing five main topics. The first one is what is the AEC collection in Autodesk ACC? Next, we'll learn what is Revit. Then we'll be seeing how to leverage the AEC collection with Revit and leveraging ACC with Revit as well. And last but not least, we'll learn some best practices for using the AEC collection. But before we dive in, I'd like to take a moment to introduce myself. My name is Maria. I'm an architect, and today I'm doing this live session on behalf of MicroCAD, where I work as an AEC application specialist. I'm really excited to talk to you today how Revit, the AEC collection, and ACC can make your workflows smoother. So let's start with the basics. What the AEC collection is. It's a comprehensive toolset that supports the entire building and infrastructure design process. Whether you're an architect creating conceptual designs or a civil engineer working on site grading, the AEC collection gives you access to the tools you need in one integrated package. At the heart of the collection are tools like Revit for building information modeling, Civil 3D for infrastructure design, and Navisworks for project coordinations. You also get AutoCAD, which continues to be a go-to for drafting, along with powerful visualization tools like 3ds Max and much more. So the real power of the AEC collection is in how these tools work together. Now, on the other hand, let's see what is Autodesk Construction Cloud or ACC. So it is a cloud-based construction management platform that connects designers, builders, and owners throughout the entire project lifecycle, from early planning and design through construction and all the way to operations and handover. What makes ACC powerful is that it brings all your critical workflows together: design collaboration, project management, cost tracking, field execution, and document control on a single unified platform. It's built on a common data environment, which means that everyone on the project team is working from the same set of up-to-date information, reducing rework, miscommunication, and delays. It also brings together some familiar tools you might have heard of: Autodesk Build, Beam Collaborate, Autodesk Takeoff, and Autodesk Docs. All this leads you to a better collaboration, smart decision making, and higher quality projects delivered on time and on budget. And now that we know what the AEC collection is and what the ACC platform can bring to the AEC industry, let's dive into how both can improve our workflows while using a Revit model. But first, as you may or may not know, Revit is a building information modeling software. It's used to design and manage buildings and infrastructure in a 3D data-rich environment. And of course, a Revit model is the digital 3D representation of a building or structure created in Revit. It includes geometry such as walls, doors, windows, floors, roofs, data like the type of materials, thermal properties, manufacturer info. It also includes parametric components, meaning that if you change one element, like the width of a wall, everything else updates accordingly. We can even find in just one model more than architectural information. We can find data and information for the structure of a building or all the MEP data that specific building is going to need in real life. They can be separate models as the ones we're seeing on the videos, or it can be all in one if you need to. On our Revit models, we can also find multiple views, sheets, plans, sections, details, schedules, legends, links, imported information, and much more, all connected to the same data source, our Revit model. So we can think of Revit as more than just a visual model. It's a living document that evolves throughout the design, construction, and sometimes even the facility management phases. Now moving on, there are multiple workflows and collaborations between software that will let us succeed while working with Revit. So let's get started with the AEC collection ones. So first, how can we work collaboratively between Revit and AutoCAD? So let's say that we have our own Revit model with oral views, specifications, details, and more. And let's say that we want to export this sheet in particular. What we have to do is go to File, Export, CAD Formats, and select the DWG option. Over here, what we have to do is just save our file wherever we want to. It can be on our computer, on the server, or on the cloud. We just have to select the version we want to save it on and hit OK. Once we have saved our document, what we have to do is just search it on ARC folders. And when we double click it, we will be able to see it open on the AutoCAD software. So as you can see, all the same information that was displayed on our Revit model is going to show up here. And the best part is that all the information is going to be transferred, and each element that we can see on our drawing is going to have a specific layer. So as you can see here, these grid bubbles have a specific layer, and it's going to be able to be modified the way a layer is when it's created in AutoCAD. So as you can see here, if we select this furniture, we will be able that it has its own layer. The same happens with our tags for rooms, and of course, every architectural component that's on our drawing. So as you can see, all this information over here is a 2D drawing. Nothing has a 3D. So let's say that we want to export a DWG file, but instead of a 2D model, we want to export a 3D model. So let's go back to our Revit, and let's say that we have this model over here. This is our project with some pipes on it. What we have to do is follow the same steps. Go to File, Export, CAD Formats, and DWG. Once we have exported our document and our 3D model, what we have to do is just go ahead and open it again in AutoCAD. So as you can see, the same exact model that we were seeing in Revit is going to be available for us to visualize it in AutoCAD and start modifying it if we need to. And as you can see, all this information is going to have a layer as well. Now let's talk if we want to work all the other way around. So as you can see here, we have this plan with some grid lines. Everything is a 2D drawing. We just have some lines, some specifications, some texts. So let's say that we want to import it to Revit. What we have to do is go to Insert, Link CAD or Import CAD. In this case, I'm going to import it. And we just have to select the file that we want to import to our Revit model. And once selected, we just have to hit Open. So as you can see, once the file loads, we will be able to see it directly on our Revit file. The best part of this is that with our, The best part of this is that with our DWG files, we will be able to modify them the way we need to on Revit. So let's say that we want to hide some elements of Revit. Let's say these elements over here. So as you can see, these elements are on the A1502 light equipment layer. So if we come to Revit and go to our imported categories, we will be able to search for our DWG file and search that specific layer that we reviewed on AutoCAD. So as you can see here, I already found that specific layer. I'm going to turn it off. And once I hit apply, those elements that were on that specific layer are going to disappear. Now let's talk about Navisworks, another great tool that works great for Revit. To start using it, we just have to go to our Add-in tab on Revit, select External Tools dropdown, and from there, select Navisworks. Over here, what we have to do is just save our file as well wherever we want to on our computer. And once we have saved it, what we have to do is go and open it on Navisworks. This is going to work just like the AutoCAD file. So as you can see here, Navisworks already has the information that I saved from my Revit model. All of the same pipings that were on my model are showing up here. And the best part is that all the materials, element information are going to be displayed here on our Navis properties palette. So another great tool that Navisworks offers is the clash detection option. Over here, what we have to do is just have our Revit model export to Navisworks. And once we have all our projects, we just have to run some tests to verify which elements are clashing with the other system elements. So this can be made between MEP models, structural models, architectural ones, and everything that you have on a BIM environment data. And now there's another way around. We can just import our Navisworks models to Revit. So as you can see over here, we just need to import our coordination model. As you can see, I'm just going to open it. I'm going to load it to my Revit file. And now I will be able to turn it on my Revit model, and I'm going to be able to coordinate everything that's on my Revit model with the help of this imported Navisworks model. There's another great tool when working with Navisworks and Revit, and is that if we select some elements on our Navis file, we will be able to see this ID option over here on the right side of my screen. I just have to copy this value, go to Revit, go to Manage, and click Select by ID. If I copy that value, I will be able to zoom in on my Revit file to that specific element that I was displaying on Navisworks. So it's a great tool when we want to save some time looking for some specific elements on our project. Now let's take a look at how Civil 3D partners with Revit. So as we can see here, starting with a Revit model, we have the ability to export and import data directly into Civil. This integration is especially helpful for improving site design or grading, tasks that can be a bit challenging to handle within Revit alone. So when it comes to elements like levels, topography, and drainage, Civil 3D offers advanced tools to create accurate terrain grading plans and drainage systems, all based on the architectural design that we bring from Revit. So when that's done, the enhanced site data can be brought right back into Revit. So as we can see in the video, we're able to export the relevant data from Revit, modify it within Civil, and once we have made all our changes, we will be able to reintroduce those changes into the Revit environment. So as you can see here, we already have our file with our topo lines, topo surfaces, and with the topography created. So what it takes over here is just to link the Civil 3D generated topography back into Revit. We just have to search for the file we just saved with all these changes made to our topography. And once we link it, we will be able to see all this updated information, and it's going to be seamlessly integrated on our Revit model. So as you can see, Civil 3D works great with Revit. Let's see another example. As shown here, we can take a DWG file created in Civil with all its topo lines and elevation data and easily bring it into Revit. So what we have to do is just simply link it or import our DWG file to our Revit model, then go to Massing and Site and select Topo Surface. Over here, we just have to select the DWG file we imported, and Revit will immediately use the elevation points from Civil to generate a complete topography model quickly and accurate, as we can see over here. Now, when it comes to 3ds Max, we're talking about a completely different kind of tool. Unlike the others we've seen, 3ds Max is all about high-end visualization. It let us create stunning photorealistic renderings using our Revit model, along with all the embedded data like materials, volumes, dimensions, and even preset views and camera positions. So as you can see in the video, the Revit model has already been linked to our 3ds Max. The fully geometry comes through flawlessly as you can see, and all the cameras created in Revit are right there ready to use. Then once we activate the rendering tool in 3ds Max, that's when the magic happens. The model comes to life with incredibly realistic detail. Now let's dive into a different realistic type of modeling, the point cloud models. Well, using Recap Pro, we can generate hyper-realistic point cloud models from laser scans of buildings, landscape, open spaces, and pretty much anything you can imagine. These detailed scans can then be brought into Revit, allowing us to create incredibly accurate models based on real-world conditions. So as you can see here, it's as simple as inserting the point cloud into a Revit file. Once it's in, we can start modeling directly from the scan in a full 3D BIM environment. Whether it's a 3D view, a section, or even a plan view, the point cloud is visible from every angle, helping us recreate the existing condition with precision and realism. Now moving on, let's see the ACC workflows with Revit. So let's say that we have already created our construction cloud profile. We have our project created with all the folders and all the files that we want here, but we're missing to upload our Revit model. So what we have to do here is go over Revit, and over here we just have to open the file that we want to upload to our cloud project. So as you can see here, we already have our project created with all the information that we want to upload to the cloud. What we have to do is simply go to Collaborate, select the Collaborate option on the left side of the screen. And over here, we will be asked if we want to collaborate on our network or in the cloud. So of course, over here, we're going to choose the cloud option. And we just have to hit OK and wait for our model to be loaded to the cloud. Once our model has been loaded, we will be able to come back to the ACC platform. And as you can see, our model is showing over here. As you can see, it's showing as a work shared cloud model, meaning that everyone who's part of this team is going to be able to collaborate in that specific file. Over here in the cloud, we will be able to visualize all the information our model has in 3D view and of course in a 2D view as well. So all the sheets that we have over here on our Revit project are the ones we're going to see on the ACC platform. The greatest part of this is that we can create comments and markups directly on the cloud, and this will help us to transfer information from our markups to our teammates. We can even start creating dimensions if we need to verify a dimension of our project and we don't have our Revit in hand. We just have to use this ruler tool over here on the ACC, and we will be able to find out dimensions from our projects directly from the cloud. Another great option that we have here is the issues over here. So we will be able to put some issues and comments on our projects so our teammates can see them. So as you can see over here, we will be able to add important information to our issues. We will be able to add a description. We will be able to assign it to a specific user or person on the project and add additional information. The best part is that you will be able to go to our ACC platform. And over here, you will be able to see displayed all the issues that you have. In this case, I just have one created, but you can create new ones. And the best part for the ACC platform is that you will be able to add information that's important for your project, such as files, specifications, forms, photos, RFIs, and even meeting information. So this is a great tool when you're working on project management. You will be able to have everything on one single platform. Now, let's talk about Content Catalog. With this cloud product, you will be able to store all your BIM information on the cloud for your entire team. As you can see, we have a new tab on our Revit ribbon called Content Catalog. We just have to choose it and open this tool as an app or in the browser. Once opened, you will be able to see displayed the name of the project you're working on, as you can see on the video. Over here under Upload Content, we will be able to save all the information we want to store on our cloud. This can be information such as Revit families, title blocks, templates, details, and more. Once all the information has been uploaded to your collections, you will be able to review and check your content on your folders and all the BIM data you have saved there, as you can see here. Now this video is not working. Let me stop this presentation for a moment and let's see. Yeah, over here under our folders, we will be able to start reviewing all our BIM information. So as you can see here, we're visualizing this Revit family, and we will be able to see important information such as the properties, the file history, so we will be able to see which versions of Revit we will be available to use this family on. So as you can see, the previous versions are not available for this specific family in particular. And we also be able to see additional information of these families in particular. And now, as we start wrapping up, I'd like to highlight one of the newest but increasingly important additions to Autodesk cloud-based tools, that is Autodesk Forma. With Autodesk Forma, we can explore multiple design options on a specific site anywhere in the world. It allows us to work with real GIS data and run analysis for sand, wind, and thermal performance, all from a single model created directly in Forma. But the best part of this is that we can bring the data straight into Revit. As shown in the video, we simply export our model from Forma, then open a new project in Revit, and from there we go to Massing and Site tab, and we're able to link and load the model created in Forma. Once it's loaded, all the valuable information such as the site context and massing can come into our Revit model, giving us a more informed starting point for our projects. Once the Forma model is inside Revit, we can continue refining it, adjusting heights, dimensions, and any other design elements as needed. And the best part of this is that we can bring those updates right back into Forma simply by re-uploading the modified model to the platform, and this way we can keep our workflow seamlessly and fully integrated. So as you can see here, we just have to change our model, save it, and once we upload it to Forma, we will be able to see all these changes displayed there. And now to sum up all we just learned, let's see some of the best practices for working across Revit, ACC, and the AEC collection. So first off, take full advantage of the AEC collection. It is not just Revit. We're talking about tools like Navisworks, Civil 3D, AutoCAD, and Forma. Each of these supports different aspects of the design and construction lifecycle. These tools used along Revit help create a much more integrated and coordinated project. Second, focus on interoperability and smooth data exchange. Many of us work with external partners or teams using different tools. That's where formats like IFC, DWG, and RVT become crucial. With the AEC collection, you can move data seamlessly between Revit and other software. Third, model optimization and standardization is key. Before pushing models to the cloud via ACC, it's crucial to clean them up, resolve warnings, audit files, and use model checkers to keep everything in line with your standards. So you will be able to keep all your files lean, reduce errors, and ensure everyone's working from a consistent foundation. And last but not least, make the most out of your collaboration tools. I don't know why it's not displaying there. Yep. Use your ACC's modules to manage versioning, track versions, changes, and share progress across teams. Also, structure your ACC folders strategically. Set them up by project phase, discipline, or role so you can control access and keep your workflow organized. And well, these strategies using the full AEC collection, preparing your model properly, and managing collaboration smartly set the foundation for efficient integrated workflows across Revit, ACC, and the AEC collection. And well, that would be it for today's webinar. I really hope that you all learned a bit more how Revit models can excel working hand in hand with the AEC collection in the ACC platform. So now I would like to invite you to ask any questions that you might have for me.
Thank you, Maria, for that wonderful presentation. Let me go over the questions. Okay, the first question is, can I start working collaboratively in the cloud with my AEC collection seat?
Well, this is something important. With the AC collection, you get access to docs, which is part of the ACC platform. But for you to start working collaboratively with multiple users in Revit and in the cloud, you'll have to have a BIM Collaborate Pro seat. So this is something to keep in mind because with the AC collection, you will be able to store all your data in the cloud, but you won't be able to work collaboratively with other users in Revit.
Okay, so we need that BIM Collaborate Pro license as well.
Yeah, it's a great combo.
It's an amazing combo. And also, I would like to remind everyone about our upcoming events. Thank you, Maria. We have on May 8th, the future of manufacturing, digital prototyping with Fusion. And then on May 15th, we'll have BR in architecture with Enscape and Revit. And on May 22nd, we'll have sustainable construction with Revit and Forma, a very interesting one. So if we don't have more questions, I would like to remind everyone that if you want to learn any of these topics in detail, you can take a custom training with us. And we also offer group classes online. We also will be sending this on-demand recording tomorrow at 1 p.m. And you have the webinar registration page on the right hand. So if you just go there and register for any webinar that you're interested in, it doesn't matter if you can make it or not. We highly encourage you to register so you can get the recording and watch it on your own time. So yeah, with that, I would like to thank Maria and thank everyone. I hope you have a great rest of your week.
Thank you, Huli. Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.